Shri Bhaktivardhini Treatise, The Way to Increase Devotion. Sri Acharyaji taught this treatise to Sri Purushottamji in Gujarat. It has 11 verses, and Sri Kalyan Raiji has explained this to be because the 11 verses describe the devotional path that will purify and nourish the devotee's 11 senses. Ramanath Shastriji has explained that the seed of devotion lies in the heart of all divine souls. This seed can be destroyed by obstacles brought about through time, action, and objects. It becomes dormant. The way for that seed to be revived and subsequently strengthened is the subject matter of this treatise. Verse 1, Yatha bhakti pravridha syat, tattopayo nirupyate, bija bhave dride tu syat, tyagat shravana kirtanat. The method of increasing devotion is here described. The seed of devotion becomes firmly established through renunciation, listening, and singing the Lord's praises. Tika 1. The particular way in which devotion can be made to grow is described here. The seed of devotion in the heart, which is sown through great grace, can be encouraged to grow and become firmly established through the practice of devotion and the renunciation of all that is contrary, along with listening to and singing the Lord's praises. Verse 2. Bijadadra prakarastu gruhes ditva swadharmataha avyavrito bhavet krishnam pujaya shravanadibihi. The method of strengthening the seed of devotion is to reside at home and follow your own righteous path. If you can be free from all other occupation, then worship Sri Krishna through devotional service, including listening to his praises, etc. Tika 2. You should reside at home with the guidelines of life for those living as a householder, and also according to the rules of your social status. If you do not need to be otherwise engaged in employment and can give up such work, then spend your time in worship, such as having his holy sight and serving him, listening to and singing his praises, serving him with body and wealth. This is the way to make your seed of devotion grow. When there is totally undivided faith in the Lord, he himself provides all that is necessary to survive in this way. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9.22 Yoga Kshemam Muhamyaham. Otherwise, one should do as much as necessary to support a lifestyle based on divine service. Verse 3. Vyavritopi haro chittam shravanado yatet sada tata prema tata saktir vyasanam cha yada bhavet. If you must be employment, then do so keeping your consciousness focused on Sri Hari through listening to and singing his praises. Then, sequentially, you will attain love for the Lord, attachment to him, and then unshakable addiction to him. If for the sake of Tika 3, if for the sake of looking after your family, you must be in gainful employment, then you should keep your heart and consciousness constantly focused on the Lord and enthusiastically engage in listening to and singing his praises and other devotional activities. When devotion increases and when through the auspices of Sri Acharyaji's lineage you are accepted into the Lord's fold, then the sprout of love will appear in the heart, and this affection leads you to turn all your actions towards the Lord. After that, attachment to him develops, which makes your mind focus on him, and this is known as mature affection. After that, you cannot bear to be away from the Lord, even for a single second, which is called addiction to the divine beloved. Verses 4 and 5. Bijam taduchyate shastre driddam yannapi nashyati snehad raga vinasha syat asaktyam syat grihar ruchihi grihastanam vadakatvam anatmatvam cha basate yada syad vyasanam krishne kritarthaha syat tadevahi. That seed of devotion is then, if it is said in the Shastras, firmly established and indestructible. When affection for the Lord develops, worldly hankerings are eliminated. When attachment arises, then one loses the taste for the family home. Those who live in the family home appear as obstacles, and one no longer considers them to be one's own or connected to oneself. When addiction to Sri Krishna develops, then one becomes fully devotionally satisfied. Tika 4 and 5. The Shastras describe this seed as firmly established when it cannot be uprooted under any circumstance. When love for the Lord develops, then material desire and material involvement in worldly wranglings disappear. When attachment to the Lord develops, one loses interest in the worldly home. Then family members, spouse and children, for example, who are not close to the Lord, appear as a hindrance and no longer appear as one's own. It is then accomplished devotees whose very soul is Sri Krishna and souls who are spiritually related to them, whom one feels to be one's own. If one's worldly relations, who can be the cause of worldly attachment and become accomplished devotees, then... If one's worldly relations, who can be the cause of worldly attachment, become accomplished devotees, then attachment to them is because of their devotional status, and this attachment is no longer a hindrance to devotion. When love for the Lord reaches its zenith and develops into addiction to the Lord, then the embodied soul's existence is said to be fulfilled. Verses 6 and 7 will be recited in the next section. Jai Jai Shri Radha.